when we took the leap and moved to Oxfordshire 2 years ago, we landed here in this tiny little flat in the historic market town of Abingdon. And the plan was pretty solid. We would stay here for 2 years, we would rent in that time, figure out if we liked the area, and then at the end of that 2 years, we'd put down roots and we'd buy a place. Well, guess what? 2 years are up. And to tell you the truth, while this flat has been great for work and great for play as well, it served its purpose now. There's actually been quite a lot of antisocial behaviour going on around this building and in this area recently. See that footprint right there? To quote Shaggy, it wasn't me. Plus, we're on the ground floor, so if our neighbours upstairs decide they want to move their furniture around at 11:30 at night, as they do most evenings, do you know what I mean? There's very little we can do about that. Plus, given that we're making a lot of calls every month to our landlord for maintenance and things going wrong, we figured that the time to move was now, especially as our tenancy on this place actually runs out this summer. So all this being said, around Easter time, I've been on the sort of, you know, the Rightmove apps and Zoopla and all that kind of stuff. I'd been on the apps, and a couple of days before my 35th birthday, I saw a place that I couldn't get out of my head. It was a lovely little house tucked away in a quaint little village here in Oxfordshire, in the countryside, and I couldn't get it out of my head, like I say, and it seemed to tick all the boxes for us, and believe me, we had a lot of boxes. So we figured as it ticks so many boxes, we really ought to go and have a look at it, and the day after viewing it, we put in an offer. That offer was eventually accepted, and ever since then, the doors for this place have really remained open for us against all the odds, and for us, that really makes us feel like we're doing the right thing. We're doing the thing that we're supposed to be doing at this point in our lives. Now, my New Year's resolution for 2024 was to get on the property ladder, to buy a house, and I've never completed a New Year's resolution before, but it's the first time for everything. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my buying a house vlog. It is really, because we came here the first time, but you're only in it for sort of 10 minutes, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
Quick look round.
There's a couple of things the vendor has sent us to ask if you guys wanted.
Yeah, go for it, please.
Brilliant. All right,
Yeah,
well, I
good.
will inform Matt.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that cabinet I think will be useful, Joe, actually. This is a bit I'm looking forward to, the garden, because where we live at the minute, we haven't got a garden. Yeah, it feels like a good fit. This is what is now the walk-in wardrobe. I wonder if these are staying, the shelves. These are built in, aren't they? Yeah, it's actually built in. It's not just
look, it's screwed to the wall.
Yeah.
So if there's stuff that's sort of like pre-agreed or anything like that, we're sort of none the wiser.
Yeah, nice. This is as I remember it. I kind of hope these are staying, because I really like those shelves. Again, not a deal breaker, but they are nice. Right, I've popped out for a little stroll. We've just got back from looking at the house for the second time. I say it's the house, it's not our house yet, although it is looking likely. Everything's sorted from like a financial point of view and a mortgage and all of that. It's all done, so it's just a case of getting the contract signed, getting the, you know, crossing the I's, dotting the T's. No, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. That's the right way. I was a little bit worried about today's visit, because I was sort of thinking, oh gosh, what if we go and see it for a second time and we don't love it as much? We've absolutely made the right decision. I left on such a high, and I'm still buzzing right now, even talking to you about it. You know, this wasn't necessarily on our radar for this year. We hoped that we could buy a place this year, but we didn't know that we were going to be able to do it. So we're going for it. We're putting all our eggs in this basket, and we're going to see where we end up. This has been my loop while I've lived in the home we live in now. There's a loop that goes from the flat, past Waitrose, it all sounds very middle class, past Waitrose, onto this footpath, and then up there along the River Thames. Not bad, eh? Having all this around us over the last 2 years, and having, you know, all of this nature has made me want to move even more. Like, the longer I've stayed in this flat, I've just wanted to move from it, because this flat doesn't have a garden, it doesn't have outdoor space. And I don't know if you remember, or particularly those of you that have been around the channel for a while, or friends, family, etc. When COVID happened back in 2020, the flat we lived in back then, it didn't have a garden, it didn't have any outdoor space. It was up on the 4th floor. And so when you were all posting your photos of you in your garden sunbathing and having barbecues, Joe and I were up on the 4th floor. And we didn't have outdoor space, and we weren't even allowed to go outside for a lot of it. I longed for that. I think in that time, I realized, you know, the things that were important to me. And one thing that is really important to me is this. the great outdoors. It's a blessing to have all this on our doorstep, and so living in the flat that we do now, we still don't have that garden. When the next move was coming, and I knew it was probably going to be this year at some point, I said to Joe, I just need outdoor space. I need a garden. I need somewhere that I can go and sit and, you know, barbecue and just be in contact with the great outdoors and sit and have a nice glass of wine in the sun and not have to, you know, at the moment, if I want to go outdoors, I have to leave my house and go and find somewhere like I've done today for this walk. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it's nice to just go into your garden, isn't it? And this house has a garden that we found, and it's a beautiful little garden. It's tucked away, it's private, it's quiet. I think I could be into gardening, you know. I think I could be the sort of guy that does gardening, you know. Never potted a plant in my life, but it's never too late to start, is it? So I figured I'm gonna get into it. I'm definitely gonna get into barbecuing. That I can tell you. Do you know, I've been to hundreds of barbecues. I've never been the guy with the apron on and the tongs. Now's the time. Alrighty, we have had some pretty big mail arrive this morning. Inside this folder right here, which obviously I'm not going to show you because all the details and the bank details and that are on there. But inside here are the contracts to sign to buy the house. So in theory, once me and Joe have signed these, sent them back, paid the deposit, the house, in theory, is legally ours. We've even got a potential date, which we have been discussing with the seller's solicitors and with our solicitors. Everyone seems happy, and we seem settled to move on the 6th of August 2024. 6 weeks from today, so I suppose we better get packing. But in order to get packing, I am going to need cardboard boxes. Now, my #1 moving tip for you: don't pay for cardboard boxes. Hop to your local Waitrose, head to the fresh produce section, and hey presto, this is what we're looking for. There you have it, look how easy that was. I'm carrying, that you're balanced on top of, a stack of boxes, completely free. The supermarket actually want to get rid of them, so you're helping them out. It's win-win. And they stack on top of each other, so when you're moving and you're filling up your house with boxes, they're ideal. Waitrose are very, very helpful. The lady said, "I'll come back tomorrow and I'll have some bigger boxes for you." So, you know, you don't ask, you don't get. Only 4 weeks to go until the big day, which may seem like a lot of time, but we're going to be away for some of that time, and work is particularly busy at the minute, hence why the box wall has returned early. To be honest, that is actually most of our stuff. Joe and I don't have a lot of stuff. We're minimalist as much as we can be. Obviously, I do have some old Star Wars toys. You can see the TIE fighter there. But you don't get rid of things that are sentimental, so they're staying. That's a lot of our stuff that's been packed already. This room is looking pretty good. As you can see, the spare room is really getting there. I put the bed away this morning. That's all packed away. Shelves have been emptied. Walls have been emptied. And all of this stuff here is getting packed. So we are getting there. We've got the spare bedding, some clothing there that's been put in bags ready to go. So this room, except for some of Joe's music books here and things that need sorting, pretty much getting there with this one. And if we then just pivot to the left in true Ross Geller style, this is mine and Joe's bedroom, and as you can see as well, really getting there with this space. This is the way we had a unit here. We had lots of things on the walls in here, but it's all been put away, ready for the big move. Most of the little things that we're not going to need between now and when we move is packed, so most things are done. The only things that are left out are the bigger things and some of the smaller things that we're going to need between now and when we move. I've also still got to move all the utilities over to the new place, so that obviously takes a little while. Some of that you can do before you move, some of it you can do after you've moved in. The van is booked, we've got family members booked in to come and help us move, and now the walls are looking very, very bare and there's lots of boxes everywhere, so the move is really starting to feel real now. Right, time has passed and we now only have 3 days until the move. The flat is looking very, very different. I'll give you a little tour, show you what we've done. Lots has happened. I've been camping for a week, got a tiny little bit of sun on my face. It's more pink than brown, but it's, you know, on the way to a tan. I've also had a trim, as you can see. It was long overdue. You were thinking it. I was thinking it, my wife was certainly thinking it. As you can see, bedroom very, very packed up. That's a built-in wardrobe over there. That is completely empty, nothing left in there. And then we got our bed and our bedside table. Could pack the lamps today. That's probably the last thing in here that really needs to be packed. Other than that, it's bits of furniture and whatnot, as you can see. So we're pretty much ready to go in here. Joe has also deep cleaned the shower, so that is looking sparkly clean, although I will say it does smell like a swimming pool in here. You know, that sort of that smell, that chlorine-y smell. We had to use some of the like mold and mildew spray on the shower. It's come out really clean, as you've just seen. But the consequence is it smells like a swimming pool. So as you can see, all done in here. Then in the spare room, it is pretty much, as you can see, completely empty, aside from some washing that's drying over there by the window, and the mattress, which is going to be used before we move out, because my parents are popping in to help us move, so that will be their bed. And we've also got this, which we are going to need. This is called Goo Gone, Goo and Adhesive Remover. We're going to give this a go, and we're going to use that on this. This is a mark that was left by some fairy lights that we hung up with blue tack, and they were sort of hung along the top there all the way round. So we're going to give this a go and see if this can remove the little mark that they left. Might not work, but worth a go. It was only a couple of quid on Amazon, so we'll give it a bash. Kitchen is, as you can see, pretty empty, other than the air fryer at that end, which we are going to be using before we move out. All of these cupboards and drawers are empty. The oven, I gave the oven a good going over, and look how clean it is. Cleanest it's ever been. You have got the lounge, which has become the assembly area for pretty much everything we own. Joe and I don't have a lot of kind of little bits, but everything we do have is now there or there. Everything that's left in the other rooms is stuff that we're pretty much going to use. And obviously things like the sofa, we've got the TV behind me. We'll just be glad to get the move done now. I think it's, you know, it's hot in the UK at the moment. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave. Like I say, work's been really, really busy recently for both Joe and myself. And it's, you know, it's our first time buying a house as well. We're first time buyers, so all of the sort of money side of it, it's at times a little bit stressful. We've stayed on top of it as best we can, but I might do another video actually on this channel where I talk about the costs of moving house. Oh, Joe's home. I'm going to let Joe in. One sec. Anyway, as I was saying, lots of different numbers and different things in our heads when it comes to the move, but I might do a video at some point talking about like the hidden costs. Maybe I'll do some content on that. If you'd be interested in that, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, because I can do different videos. I haven't done a lot of content on this channel in a while, because as I say, life's been pretty busy, but with the move, with buying a house, with decorating and renovating elements of the house, there's going to be a lot of house content, I think, on this channel, which is something that I've been looking forward to doing, so hopefully you're here for that. But anyway, 2 more days in this flat and then we're off. We've got a van, Joe is driving it, and we are off. We are moving to our new house today. Mum and Dad are here. Everything is packed. It is raining, hoping the rain subsides, because you know what it's like moving on a raining day, all your stuff gets wet, but very, very excited. Fan is in place. Dad's got his foreman jacket on. Flat was right by the bus stop, so to get to work we would walk from here over to there, the bus stop, and obviously we have the shop there as well, so getting milk and late night snacks nice and easy. Now this was actually the front door, however Joe and I never ever, in fact I think I only went in through this door once, so for us this was the front door. Coming in through this one, this is actually at the back of the building. We use this every day as our front door, and I'm going to show you it now because it's nice and empty inside. Right, there we go. As you can see, nice and empty in here. Every single thing has gone. This was our lounge area, so we had the TV here, and where I'm stood right now is where the sofa was, so we would sit here, watch our TV. Dining room table was over there. You'll remember some of this from the video, but dining room table was over there. And then through here is the kitchen, which has still actually got a few bits in. We need to tidy up a few last bits, a couple of plates and stuff. And then from there we had the hallway. That was the front door that I mentioned that we never use. This stuff actually belongs to the tenants. We've just left that. We had a spare room through here. So that was the spare room. If you come to stay with us, that would have been where you slept. And then this right here This was mine and Joe's room. I've got to say, I'm not going to miss this flat as much as I did the Gloucester one when we left that one, because we were there for 5 years. Joe was there for 8 years. So Joe was there for a long time. She lived there when I moved to Gloucester, and then that became our first married home. This flat, it's very much served a purpose. Like, I've loved being here. And without getting this flat as easily as we did, we probably wouldn't have been able to move to Oxford as quickly as we did to take up the jobs that we did. So I'm really grateful for this flat, but it always felt like a bit of it was like a temporary home. We knew we weren't going to be here for a long time. We weren't here for a long time, but we were here for a good time.
You're a big boy now.
Is that what he said? Hello, Shirley.
Hello, Judah.
Hi, Judah.
Let me see Judah.
Look at that. Van is all packed. Good news is the keys are ready.
Oh, brilliant.
So,
That's amazing.
early. That's what we like. There we go. Just like that. The van is packed, aside from the fragile things and a piano. But other than that, everything's in. We're all ready to go. And we just had the phone call from the estate agent. Come and get your keys. So that's what we're doing now. Easy as that. You walk in to the estate agents, they give you a little envelope. We paid all that money and we get a white envelope with some keys in. You can hold these.
What, shall I open them?
We're in. Yeah, go on, open them. Open them up. How exciting. First time buyers, it's a big moment.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
For all your money, that is what you get.